Hi there, and welcome to this bonus episode of the Gazette's Hockey Inside Out show. I'm Stu Count of the Gazette, joined by these two guys. You know who they are, former Canadiens Rick Green and Chris Nyland, Stanley Cup champions together back in 1986. Brendan Gallagher's been with the Canadiens a long time, not that long, going back to the glory days, but he has 2 more seasons left on his contract with the big salary cap hit of $6.5 million. He's been battling this season, Chris. He's looked pretty good, but do you think he can continue to be an effective player for the length of that contract, factoring in that he's already 32 years old?
That's really tough to say. All I will say is when I hit the age of 33, 34, it got really difficult on me. You know, and I know one thing, Brendan will give it his all and try the best he can every night he's out there. And you see it. There are going to be nights he doesn't have his legs, you know. I think he's really, in these first 10 games, he's really stepped up to the plate and been out working his butt off every shift. Like, I watch him, like, every shift. You know you're going to get it from him.
He's training in practice, too.
Yeah. I just think, again, he doesn't know any better. I remember, you know, Tony saying, you know, back when we were on the show together, radio show, saying, you know, when, you know, he's not going to be it by 10 years. He got to change his style or something because you can't change his style. You just can't. You're that type of player. That's the way you have to play to be effective. It's going to be tougher on him the next 2 years. Even this year, when we get in the doldrums of the season, January, February, it's like, man, it gets long, it gets hot, it gets tough. So I hope for him he does, but it's going to be a struggle. I know one thing, though. He's not going to roll over and die.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you, Nux. He's, you know what you're going to get from him. He does everything he can possibly do for the team. But, you know, it's going to be a tough 2 years. He'll be the first one to probably feel and sense that, I'm going to have to be maybe a little more intelligent in my play, because if not, I'm not going to make it for another 2 years, because we all know how he plays each shift, and he really cares. And it's going to be a real challenge for him. And, you know, I hope for him that he's able to hang in there and contribute, because he's obviously a quality guy you need in the dressing room.
Well, can't you love a guy like Brendan Gallagher? Like, everything, he steps up to the microphone all the time when things aren't well, you know, plays through injuries, be beat up, everything. And just really, that's the guy who tries to drag this group into the fight. But I don't know if anybody's clawing and digging with him.
Yeah, I mean, he gets what it is to be a Canadian on and off the ice, right? He wears that H on his shoulder. I mean, I thought, you know, when Shea Weber was named captain, I thought Gallagher would have been a better captain at the time, just for all the stuff apart from in the locker room, right? All the other stuff. But it seems like 30 is almost that age, right? Knuckles, your old number, but there's some sort of freaks of nature too, right? I know your buddy Chris Chelios was one of them.
Yeah, but defensemen have an opportunity. Defensemen can play longer than forwards. That's always been that way. Mm-hmm. And then you have to be a freak of nature to play longer as a forward. So if you get up to 38 as a forward, you got to be a really good offensive player. You know, you look at like Ovechkin. You know, Eisenman, right? Guys like that. But, you know, it just, when you hit, I really think the cutoff point is 34. It gets so tough physically, skating-wise, bumps and bruises, and the mental part, because you know you're getting there. If you're not already there, and you cannot say to yourself, I'm done. See you later. Guys, I'm done. I'm no good anymore. Yeah, I'm losing that dreaded half step. It happened to me, and I knew it was there. Again, you can't own up to it in a public forum. Yeah. You just have to suck it up and do the best you can.
You know, and Brendan has suffered some pretty good injuries that have sent him back, which, you know, have not been the easiest scenario for him. And, you know, he knows what he has to do, and, you know, hopefully he can do it for as long as possible. But I think it's going to be tough.
Well, the salary cap world, I mean, fans focus so much on the salary cap hit, right? And Brendan's salary cap hit is high, but I mean, I've always said he's earned every single dollar he's ever got from the Canadiens. And when he was a 30-goal scorer, he was underpaid. Now he's overpaid later in his career. Mark Bergevin paid him for what he had done in the past, as opposed to what he might do in the future. But heart and soul Canadian, right? It's the kind of guy you want to see him do well. Anyway, that's it for this bonus episode of the Gazette's Hockey Inside Out show. Hope you enjoyed it. Please make sure you like and subscribe to the Hockey Inside Out YouTube channel. Go to montrealgazette.com/newsletters to sign up for the Hockey Inside Out newsletter. And of course, go to hockeyinsideout.com where you'll get all the latest Canadiens news every day. Also, if you have a bonus question you'd like us to answer in a future bonus episode, please put it in the comments section below. We always love to hear from you.